Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're having a great day, because I'm having a great day. We should have a great day together. Let's study the scriptures, shall we? That seems fun. We are in Genesis 46. We'll wait for a few more people to arrive. Hey, Felicity, Jean, the Lord be with y'all. The Lord be with y'all. All right, a couple of more things to do here. Good stuff. Good stuff. Six. Boom, boom, boom. Let's rock and roll. All right. We are good. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Hey, Bobby Joe, the Lord be with you. Marilyn, Carol, good day. Hello, hello, hello. And away we go. Rock and roll, shall we? Let's do it. Remember, everything is teed up. Teed up for Joseph to go to Egypt, for Jacob to go to Egypt. Joseph is there. Joseph is so full of faith. He sees the way the Lord has done all of this. He sees how it's all gone down, and he knows beyond a shadow of a doubt that God is behind it. He comforts his brothers by saying, you didn't sell me into slavery. God did. Oh, and thus breaks all our categories of good and bad. And that is yesterday's Bible study, which I would suggest is one of the funnest that we've had yet. So let's rock and roll through this and go from there, shall we? All right. And now you're back. So Israel took his journey with all that he had and came to Beersheba, and that's where it all started, where Abraham worshipped and where the Lord reaffirmed his covenant with Isaac. So we're back where we started. Hi, Cheryl. The Lord be with you. Debbie, Terry Lynn, Nathan. It's a gift to have you here, Nathan, because your name means gift. Did you get that? Did you see what I did? Anyway. So Israel took his journey with all that he had and came to Beersheba and offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. What an interesting way of sort of taking this in and thinking about it. He doesn't worship the gods of Egypt. He doesn't worship the gods around him. He worships the God of Isaac. He worships the God of his dad and his grandfather. Luther. He preached the gospel about the Son of God and exhorted his hearers to fear God, to believe and hope in him, to live saintly and honorable lives, to pray, to give thanks, and to hope for the future life. And God spoke to Israel in visions of the night. So we're going back and forth between calling him Jacob and calling him Israel. His name is Israel. That's the name that God gave him. And God spoke to Israel in the vision of the night and said, Jacob. And And he said, honey, here I am. And this is so important. What do we get from this? Okay. Jacob needs the word of God. Remember that what God has said and done in Jacob's life. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. Remember what God has done in Jacob's life. That receipt is going to bug me. Remember what God has done in Jacob's life. Okay? God has, he made Jacob great, serving Laban. He then told Jacob to come back to the land of his, to the land that God had promised him. And he went back to the land that God had promised him, and there, good things happened. And now Joseph is in Egypt during this famine, telling him to go to Egypt. God needs to give Jacob a word of God. And so you can imagine that Jacob's a little apprehensive about the thing too. Like, mixed messages, God. Well, I mean, this happens all the time. God has a specific message for a specific time. And then God may change. You follow me? I may be in Bossier City. I've been called here twice. I may be here until I die. Or God may send me somewhere else. And I'm going to need his wisdom to know whether or not I'm you follow me? The same with pastors, the same with you. God brought you to where you are. You're going to need his wisdom if you're going to go somewhere else. Imagine beginning everything with prayer. All right? Imagine having God be the one who determines whether or not going someplace is proper or not. Yes, I do say don't forget this, and this is important a lot. It's a good day for a little bit of Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, the good stuff. And he said to him, I am the God of your father. Do not be afraid to go down to Mitzrayim. Don't be afraid to go to Egypt, for there I will make you a great nation. We got a repetition here. There I'm going to make you a I'm going to make you a great I'm gonna bless you like this. This is the plan. The plan involves. You need the text. The plan involves going to Egypt. The plan involves doing this. That's what the plan involves. Yes, we've tried before. We're too small of a group right now for Pepsi to sponsor us, but one day, oh yes, one day. And here's the clincher. I'm going to do what I promised to do to Abraham and Isaac, and I'm going to do it in your life. I myself will go down with you. To Egypt. I will be with you. There is no greater. Thanks, Amy. There's no greater. There's no greater comfort that I will be with you. There's no greater comfort than I will be with you. I myself will go down with you to Egypt. This is baptismal. This is the promise that he makes in baptism, that where his name, there he is. Where his promise, there he is with you. A sinner he's going to be. Imagine that. Can you believe that? What comfort that is. Thanks, Amanda. Lestico. Why buy the milk when the cow's free? He's going to drink it anyway, whether he's a sponsor or not. It actually, it's actually kind of funny that I used to drink Diet Coke, and I would drink Diet Coke all the time, and one of my former members, was a big worked at the Pepsi company in McHenry, or around McHenry, or in Chicago or whatever. She said, "Pastor, please pick another drink." And I changed from Diet Coke to another drink to love my neighbor. I will never leave you or forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. What a great comfort that is. I'm never going to leave you. I'm never going to forsake you. It's better than who's that guy? Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Rick Astley. Yes. I am God, the God of your father. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for there I will make you a great nation. I myself will go down with you to Egypt, and I will bring you up again. Oh. And Joseph's hand will close your eyes. Joseph's hand will close your eyes. Yeah, you were rickrolled. Joseph's hand will close your eyes. Can you beat that? Your son that you thought was dead is going to be the one that tends to you and loves you and cares for you. And he's going to close your eyes. When you sing the "Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep," you're going to get your own kid's going to close your eyes. So you're not going to be alone, Jacob. You're not going to be alone. So Jacob set out from Beersheba. The sons of Israel carried Jacob, their father, their little ones, their wives, in the wagons that Pharaoh had sent to carry him. So it's all part of the plan. Okay. The Joker may say, "Do I look like a guy who has a plan?" But God has a plan, and God is working this all out to save his people. To save his people. And they also took their livestock and their goods and all that they had gained in the land of Canaan and came into Egypt, Jacob and all his offspring with him. The stuff doesn't bog them down. They take what they can. They leave the rest. Drop the gun, leave the cannoli. His sons and his sons' sons and his daughters and his daughters' sons' daughters and his offspring that he brought with them into Egypt. And so the whole family goes to Egypt. Hi, Jennifer, the Lord be with you. Now, what follows is a little bit of, I was thinking about how to teach this. What follows is a little bit of, it's a box of 70, and they're going to fit the relatives in this box of 70, and they're going to list the relatives that get them to 70. Moses is up to something here, and you're going to see it, but like if there's an issue, Gene, on the census, it's because the Lord is concerned with 70. And so like many commentators have sort of commented on this list and how it doesn't match another list in Numbers. The Numbers list has more names. And I would just simply say that these are the ones that that land us in the place where we need to be, which is 70. The Lord does 70s. 7 and 10. 7 being his number and 10 being a number of completeness or time. And so everybody at that time or all his people. Okay. And so they're going to count, and it might get killed cattywampus. Is that even a word? So when you're counting, you're like 1, 2, 3, 4. Ha ha ha. Don't be like, well, this doesn't match the number in Numbers. Well, there's a reason for this, because God is not up to just sort of ticking off some names. Ha ha ha. Count. From Sesame Street. He's up to the devil doesn't get 6, Felicity. 6 is the number of men. It's an incomplete thing. Okay? All right. Now these are the names of the descendants of Israel who came down to Egypt: Jacob and his sons, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, the sons of Reuben, Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi, the sons of Simeon, Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zoar, Shaul, the son of the Canaanite woman, the son of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari, the son of Judah, Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan, and the sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. And this is the first sort of warning, because one of these sons of Jacob should have had kids. Which one was that? One of these kids should have had kids. Yeah, there should have been great grandsons of Jacob that were not listed, and Benjamin probably already had kids too. Pharez. There's the issue. We're not gonna get the number of kids, because we're gonna get to 70. So if you're like, well, this is an incomplete list, that's okay, because you have to understand the purpose of this list. There's maybe 2 purposes of this list. It's to give the names of the heads of the families in Numbers 25 and their origin, I think. And also that this is about the promise, not about getting all the names, making sure everybody's in the family picture. Okay? So I wouldn't lose sleep over this. I don't lose sleep over this. I didn't know how to teach it earlier today, and here I am. Here I am, the teacher that you love, asking for some slack in Genesis. Excuse me. Yes, that just happened. The sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The sons of Judah, we got those sons. The sons of Issachar, Tola, Puvah, Yob, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun, Zarad, Elon, Jahiel. The sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob in Padan Aram, together with his daughter Dinah, altogether his sons. And notice the daughters listed here. That just again tells you we're going to get to 70. The son of God, G-A-D, not God. Yeah, I know, Maggie. I was impressed. I just made that up. Cindy, don't give me hate. Don't give me hate, Cindy. Don't give me hate. You're lucky I'm not chanting this whole section. The 17. The sons of Asher, and there they are. Imna, Ishva, Ishvi, Bera, with Sarah, their sister, and the sons of Bera, Heber, and Malkiel. The sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bore to Jacob, 16 persons. The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, Joseph and Benjamin. And notice, no kids for Benjamin. No kids for it's not listed. Um, it's not listed, Maggie. It's just not listed. It's just that she had a daughter. Altogether, his sons and his daughters. So no, again, you're on it very, very well. That Maggie, that this is not a complete list, but it is a list of 70 if you count, Zilpah, 1, ha ha ha. Rachel, 2, ha ha ha. Joseph, 3, ha ha ha. You'll get to 70. To Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, the priest of On, bore to him. The sons of Benjamin, Bela, Belcher, Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Ahit, different Naaman, Rosh, Muppin. Muppin. His nickname was Kermit the Frog, and Hupim and Ard. And these are the sons of Rachel, who were born to Jacob, 13 persons in all. The son of Dan, Hushim. The sons of Naphtali, Jazeel, Juni, Jezer, and Shillem. These are the sons of Bilnah, whom Laban gave to Rachel, his daughter, and these she bore to Jacob, 7 persons in all. And the persons belonging to Jacob who came into Egypt, who were his own descendants, not including Jacob's sons' wives, and 66 persons in all. And the sons of Joseph who were born to him in Egypt were 2. All of these persons of the house of Jacob who came into Egypt were a total of 70. But the numbers list doesn't work. Yes, it does. Quit it. So I subscribe to the theory this is to sort of make the head of the families in numbers. They're going to list. So you list the big names, the names that are important for the heads of the families later on. I think that's what's going on. But I certainly don't think you should lose sleep over this list doesn't match this list. Ancients just really don't care about that. Oh, and what's the most important thing of all in this? The most important thing of all in this is the line. The line is going to Egypt. The Son of God is going to Egypt. The line, the promise is going to Egypt. He had sent Judah ahead of him to Joseph to show the way before him in Goshen, and they came into the land of Goshen. So they're in Goshen. They're going to the Goshen, and they're going to be a great nation, and they're... Anyway. I got problems. What is my problem today? I don't know. Joseph prepared his chariot and went up to meet Israel, his father, in Goshen. Oh, this is gonna, I'm gonna start the frosting right now. And this is an interesting construction. He appeared to him. And this is an odd construction. I want you to sort of pause here for a second, because the Hebrew's an odd construction. Because you've heard this. Yes, sermons like off the cuff are really long. Yeah. I'm looking at the comments here for a second, catching up on the comments, because it wasn't, the Lion of the tribe of Judah is, Yes, out of Egypt I've called my son. That's the important thing to take note of here, that the Son of God is going to Egypt so that he can go out of Egypt. Now, Israel, unfaithful. They're going to come out of Egypt and make a hot mess of the whole thing. But there is a Son of God who isn't going to do that. Also, now, we get to this part where Joseph appears to, he appears to Jacob. Why is this construction odd? Well, can you think of where Jesus appears? I'm sorry. Let's try that again. And this time, not give the answer away. Can you think of who appears to the patriarchs in Genesis? Judy had a question. I did not see a question from Judy. So you're going to have to repeat that question. I do not see Judy's question. Have you compared to see who was left off? Maybe there is something there. Judy, I told you a couple of the things that were different, that some people had kids that were not listed. Melchizedek. Yeah, that's kind of a strange construction. Melchizedek, Amy, didn't appear. This is a construction that is reserved in Genesis for a certain thing to appear. Yes, Jesus. The Yahweh appears to people. And so, like, this construction is generally only used. You were close, Amy, because I think Melchizedek is Jesus as well. But this construction is exclusively used for God appearing. So, like, God appears to Jacob, God appears to Isaac, God appears to Abraham. And now Joseph appears to Israel. And I think this is a sort of, you can have any theory you want on this, but my theory is that this is sort of, this is a big moment. Dare I say that this is a moment that even Pastor Newman would say, this is important, don't miss this. This reunion is huge. Reunited, and it feels so good. But more than that, this is God working out salvation, and God has been apt to this for at least 7 chapters since Joseph was born. This was the plan all along. Now, that God has a plan isn't comfort yet. All right? Just because God has a plan for you, like if you listen to the ministers, they're like, and God has a plan for you, and you can find out that plan. All you need do is go to higherthings.org/support and give today, and God will give you your plan. All right. No, the God has a plan for you. It could be, my plan for you is for you to get infected with COVID-19. And you're like, well, I don't really like that plan, God. That's not a good plan. It's like Austin Powers. Oh, it's a very good plan. Here, doctor, very good plan. No. You sort of, so just because he doesn't have a plan doesn't mean the plan is a good plan for you. It might mean death. But faith says that whatever is working out by God is a gift. So in the way of faith, God having a plan is, you're going to work that out however it is, whether it's good or bad, whether I want to thumbs up it on social media or thumbs down it on social media, it's going to be fine because you're the one that's behind it. Okay? Because you're the one that's behind it, God. And I'm going to trust you being such a God as to work it all out. And so this moment is, that was a great impersonation, Cindy. I don't understand. One day I'll be gone and you'll be like, I've got no one to pick on anymore. You won't have George Borghardt to pick on anymore. That was Nixon. All right, so no, it's not. No, it's not, Lestico, but we'll talk about that another time. Um, like Jesus is a priest in the order of Melchizedek. Melchizedek just sort of shows up and then he disappears. But I don't want to. I don't want to. You know what? We can debate Jesus and Melchizedek another time, and I'm okay with people disagreeing with me. I'm never ever threatened by someone, and I also appreciate a gentle. His Frau was horrible. Welcome back, Kristen. You know, it's really hard to be. Sometimes I feel threatened by people not supporting me. Let's rock and roll. So this business of him showing himself should give you a God moment. He shows himself. It's a God moment. So, yeah. Yeah. He presented himself to him and fell on his neck and wept on his neck for a good while. He showed himself. He appeared to him. And he fell. This is just, you should just, I mean, this should make you teary. And this is real. He fell on his neck. And so this is like they embraced, they hugged it out, and he wept on his neck for a while. I mean, they wouldn't, like just a little longer. Just hold it there. Just hold it there. Israel said to Joseph, "Let me die, since I've seen your face and know that I'm still alive." It's very real. Like, I can go now. Now let your servant depart in peace. I saw my son Joseph. But no, Jacob, you get to go to Egypt. Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, "I will go up until Pharaoh and will say to him, my brother and my father's household, who are in the land of Canaan, have come to me. And the men are shepherds, and they have been keepers of livestock, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And when Pharaoh calls you and says, 'What is your occupation?' you'll say, 'Your servants have been keepers of livestock, even from their youth until now, both we and our fathers, in order that we may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians.'" So what's the plan? What's the plan? Well, the plan here is that shepherds are disliked by the Egyptians, and so the Egyptians will not put the Israelites, the 70, in Egypt. They'll put them in Goshen. They won't. I mean, so a bull and a cow represented the Egyptian god Apis and the goddess Hathor, respectively, which might make those who cared for sheep and lesser creatures religiously and culturally offensive. Egyptian caste system in which shepherds were lowly ranked. And so they were going to live in the slums. All right, but the land is great in Goshen. It's fruitful. And this is all part of Joseph's master plan to make sure that that the Israelites get good land. Goshen, good land. Even though it's despised by the Egyptians, it's good land for livestock and the like. And we know that the Lord loves shepherds. He loves them. chapter 47. But before we get there, I want to alert you to go to higherthings.org. And I want you to the news on higherthings.org, the big release today was the confirmation materials. You may not know this, but pastors are not trained to teach confirmation. There is no confirmation class at the seminary. There's no youth ministry class at the seminary. And so, Higher Things with that in mind is releasing free confirmation materials for the church. You go to higherthings.org, you follow the links, and you'll get good confirmation materials. And these materials are designed for use of pastors, by Sunday school teachers, by parents, in order that we can bring confirmation to you. So if you're teaching your children during COVID, and these confirmation materials are also Zoom ready, so that that you can, like, if you're trying to figure out how to teach confirmation with Zoom, this is the way to go. And so, so many good things here, and they're free for now. They may not always be free, but for now they're free. And you want to go to higherthings.org/confirmation class and get these materials today. You want to get them. You want to sign up for them. They're released weekly or bi-weekly. They're going to be released a little bit ahead of advance, but the teacher, and these are made by teachers and pastors. And so it's not just pastors who may or may not know how to teach confirmation, but it's also teachers who know how to teach kids. And this union of teacher and theologian, spectacular. We're cooking with gas now. So, go today. So Joseph went to told Pharaoh, my father and my brothers with their livestock and flocks and herds, all that they possess, have come from the land of Canaan. They are now in the land of Goshen. And among them, his brothers, he took 5 men and he presented them to Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to his brothers, what is your occupation? I always want to, Moses, I will not let your people go. So I was trying to do the Pharaoh impersonation from I will not let your people go, Moses. Moses. So you want to do the 10 Commandment thing when you read Pharaoh? That's what I always do. I know it's goofy, but you know. What is your occupation? Yul Brynner, yes. What is your occupation? And the Pharaoh, they said to Pharaoh, your servants are shepherds, as our fathers were. And they said to Pharaoh, we have come to sojourn in the land, for there is no pasture for our flocks, shepherds' flocks, for the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. And now please let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. So let's take the farmland in Goshen. This is teeing up Exodus, friends. It's teeing up Exodus. Pharaoh said to Joseph, your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Settle your father and your brothers in the best of the land, Goshen. Let them settle in the land of Goshen. If you know any able men among them, put them in charge of my livestock. So don't even just watch your own livestock. You're such a blessing. Watch my livestock. And sojourn also, by the way. Notice that they want to sojourn there. They want to dwell there temporarily. They're going to live there and they're not going to buy a house. We're only going to buy apartments in Goshen because this is not where we're going to live permanently. True story. Because we're going to live in the land of Canaan. Joseph brought in Jacob, his father, and stood him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Jacob, how many are the days of the years of your life? Jacob said to Pharaoh, the days of the years of my sojourning was 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of of the years of my life, and they have not attained to the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their sojourning. Pharaoh's the king, and he's blessed by his servant Joseph. Just sort of dwell there for an instant. Just sort of let that sort of ruminate, and sort of let the sort of taste in your mouth, sort of just sort of enjoy that taste in your mouth, because what does this mean? Well, this means that God is with Jacob. God is with Joseph. And so Jacob blesses Pharaoh, even though Pharaoh's doing the favor. But God, who is rich in grace, is going to bless Pharaoh because of Jacob. Should we bless our president and authority figures? We should pray for them, Amy. We should pray for our leaders. We should pray for those in authority. Paul commands us to do that, and Jacob sort of lives that out. God blesses Joseph, and Joseph blesses Pharaoh. You got it, Eric. Almost done. The days of my years of my sojourning are 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not attained to the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their sojourning. And Pharaoh blessed, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from the presence of Pharaoh. What does this mean? The days of the years of my sojourning, few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not attained to the days of the years of my fathers. What does this mean? His own life hasn't ended with the promise happening. He attained the promised land, but then didn't. And I think that's what's going on here. They'd not actually come in possession of the land, and they had wandered about, sojourning, and so there's still a promise yet to be fulfilled, and now they're basically homeless. And so, so Jacob is sort of looking at this as like, I don't measure up to my father's lives, but, God is still working things out for my good. So if Jacob was supposed to be this, 4-star, 5-star prospect, coming out of school, and he was supposed to be an All-American, Jacob looks at his life. He's like, I'm not an All-American. Everything that God has promised hasn't occurred yet. And now I'm homeless in Egypt. I think there's a little bit of humility here, because we could actually say to him, you've done a lot, man. You're like a patriarch. You've done a lot. And he's like, no, there's still a lot to do, and God's still doing it. And now I'm homeless in Egypt. And Jacob, but hey, if there's a better interpretation of that, please give it. Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out of the presence of Pharaoh. And Jacob settled his father and his brothers, and Joseph settled his father's brothers and gave them possession of the land in Egypt, in the best land, the land of Ramses. And that's the region of the land of Goshen, where the city of Ramses would later be built. So this is a description of where they are, and a reference to something in Moses' time. And Joseph provided his father and his brothers and all his father's household with food, according to the number of their descendants. Now, there was no food in the... Oh, no. We're going to stop here. I'm going to stop here. If I go here, I could do this in the next 10 minutes, but then Sandra will get upset with me, and I want to love my neighbor. Tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. We'll continue the book of Genesis. We're rounding it out. And I have permission from the dean to tell you what's next. But to find out what's next, you'll have to come back tomorrow. So after we finish Genesis, and we will finish Genesis this week, I have permission to give you the what and the wherefore of where we're going next week. Okay? Where we're going next week. Thank you, Maggie. The Lord be with you, and have a great day. Stay safe out there. Practice your social distancing, and God keep you safe from COVID. Have a blessed day in the Lord. I'll see you tomorrow.